Hey guys, how you doing? I hope you're doing okay. I'm going to read through the majority of this article here. There's a link in the description. Uh, I'm about a day late in going over these details, not too bad. And thankfully, for once, it is a good story. A young boy, a 3-month-old baby. His name is, if I pronounce it correctly, Brandon Cuellar. Cuellar? I'm not sure. Brandon Cuellar, I'll go with. He was kidnapped on Monday, but thankfully he was found on Tuesday. The article is scant on details. The article doesn't tell us if he's safe and well. We presume, we hope he is. We pray that he is. The article doesn't specify that he's been returned to his family, but, we presume he has been. There are a couple of other oddities and omissions within the article. There's room for speculation, and I'm going to speculate a little bit for whatever that's worth. It's not really worth much at all, really. And it is just idle speculation, so I'm not going to be throwing any grand claims against anybody, just a few thoughts that pop into my head. But we're going to read through the details. A 3-month-old baby who was kidnapped from his San Francisco Bay Area home was found Tuesday, and 3 suspects were detained. The baby, Brandon Cuellar, was taken to a hospital as a precaution, said the police department, and there's not much further information released by the police department, certainly in regards to Brandon's current whereabouts, if he's been returned to the family, and his well-being. So we can just hope for the best in that regard. The announcement came shortly after police told reporters that a woman had been detained as a person of interest, after what authorities called inconsistencies in her statements to police about the kidnapping. So somebody, a woman, was telling porky pies to the police. Or rather, that's what the police think. They think they were being lied to by some woman who was classified as a person of interest. It's not clarified if she is one of the 3 suspects that have been detained. She may or may not be, but certainly that's an alarm bell was rung for the investigators. The baby, Brandon, was taken Monday from his apartment in San Jose by a man who entered the home, an apartment, and he was seen on video, CCTV, walking away with the baby in a carrier. So I'm just going to comment on that briefly. Here's some more speculation for you. It's just weird to me that a guy can just so casually walk in, take a bit, and then walk out a few minutes later with a baby in a carrier. Maybe the baby was already in the carrier. Maybe the man had to put the baby in a carrier. Maybe the man waited for somebody else to put the baby in a carrier. I'm just a little bit weirded out by, well, I mean, the whole situation's weird. But I don't know, it just seems a little bit too simple for a kidnapper to walk in and a few minutes later walk out with their target. Just seems a little bit too simple and convenient. To me, what am I suggesting? I'm suggesting there's an inside job going on. I'm suggesting that maybe somebody within the home, and as far as I understand, it was only the grandmother within the home. I'm suggesting that maybe there's some level of complicity there. I'm thinking that maybe the man was known to the family in some way, or perhaps was a friend of a friend, or something along those lines. But I don't know, it just feels like there's an air of complicity going on, that it wasn't a genuine kidnapping, it was more of a handing over of a baby. That's kind of how I'm reading it, which is, of course, sheer speculation. The woman taken into custody, who has not been identified, was with the child's mother before little Brandon Cuellar was abducted on Monday by an unknown man. And here's a quote. I believe this is from the police department. This was a person who was with the grandmother yesterday when they went shopping. She was present at the apartment complex when this happened. There have been some inconsistencies with what she has told us, obviously drawing our attention to what she knows about this. So I'm just going to correct myself there. So there's this woman who was also present along with the grandmother at the time of the kidnapping. So to me, and I think to the police, this woman is the prime suspect. You know, she's seems to have potentially facilitated this so-called kidnapping. Police released a video showing the man walking down the sidewalk holding the baby carrier covered by a white blanket. The family does not recognize this suspect, so he's not known, but could he be a friend or an associate or such with the woman that was accompanying the grandmother? Makes me wonder. Reporters said that the kidnapping was reported by the grandmother. According to the grandmother, she came home to the apartment. She took the baby in the apartment. She went downstairs to unload some groceries. And in that short amount of time, someone entered the apartment and left with the baby. I mean, that's got to be pretty scary, isn't it? I'm not a parent. I'm kind of tempted to say something along the lines of, well, perhaps the grandmother should have been paying more attention to the baby, have the baby closer to her, but I feel that's probably extremely unfair of me to suggest such a thing. You know, nobody has eyes in the back of their heads. But yeah, that adds to the air of complicity in my mind. The baby's mother was at work when the abduction happened. And here's a quote here. The dad, the father, is out of the picture. He's incarcerated. He's in jail. He's in prison. There's perhaps the suggestion that he is connected to this. Perhaps the suspects were primed or such by the father to go and do this dirty work. Anyhow, so there's that article there. Look, I mean, the upshot is that Brandon has been returned. Again, the article is being scant on details. It hasn't said that Brandon is back with his family. I would have thought an article like this would include that. So I'm a little bit skeptical about that omission. I'm wondering if Brandon hasn't been returned to the family for his own safety. That's what I'm wondering. Again, sheer crazy wild speculation on my part, which is arguably unfair of me to make, but that's what I'm wondering. I would have liked the article to have given the reader, given us some level of comfort that Brandon is fine, that he's healthy, that he's safe, and back with his family, but it hasn't done that. So let's hope that it is the case. Let's hope that the trial, the investigation continues, that there is a trial, that they do get to the bottom of this. Who the fuck, pardon my French, who the fuck is this woman that was accompanying the grandmother while she's going shopping, and then she goes back to the apartment complex right at the time that this kidnapping happened? Who the fuck is she? Where did she come from? Why is she giving inconsistencies to the police? If I'm understanding that point correctly, I think I am, but I may not be. Who the fuck is she? And is she somehow connected to the kidnappers? Is she somehow connected? Are the kidnappers somehow connected to the father who's currently incarcerated? Don't know. Again, I'm rambling. But the best thing about this, of course, is that Brandon has been found. So I'll wrap things up here. If you do like this type of content, give me a like, comment, subscribe, share the video. If you think that my rambles are just completely pointless, tell me that, and maybe I'll stop doing it. I don't know. Maybe I'll just carry on, whatever. Going to make a few more videos this evening. So please watch one or two more, and I'll thank you very much for your time.